Members of the barrio, today I'm going to be sharing some fun activities to do in New York City this fall. It's going to be a mixture of some new stuff, some classics, no matter what. I think you're going to get a lot of great ideas out of this video, so make sure to watch till the end. Let's start with one of the best free things to do in New York City that is getting almost no publicity. Treasures the Polonsky exhibition at the New York Public Library. I mean, heck, you should be going inside this building anyways if you've never visited New York because it's gorgeous. At the moment, you do need to pre-book tickets in advance on the website for this exhibition, but in person, they did have some slots available on the machines, so you could get lucky even if it says it's sold out online. And while this is a treat, over 250 rare items collected over the years by the public library on display. For example, Thomas Jefferson's handwritten copy of the Declaration of Independence. How about a letter that Christopher Columbus himself wrote? And plenty of New York City-centric stuff like a Studio 54 art piece done by the late Andy Warhol. There's even sections dedicated to Black history, LGBTQ history, the original Winnie the Pooh. People would pay good money to see some of these items in museums around the world, and here it is, absolutely free. Almost forgot, Adriana got a big surprise when she found one of the few remaining copies of the Mexican Declaration of Independence. Treasures is something for everybody. Get in on this because it's one of those many hidden gems of New York that not enough people are talking about. Pumpkin picking on Governor's Island. Really cool announcement just made. Governor's Island has gone from a place that was only accessible during the warm weather months, only during the summer, to being open year round. I mean, how cool is that? It's already one of my favorite island destinations in New York. They just announced a really cool activity for fall. So for 2 weekends only, the 23rd and 24th and the 30th and 31st of October, they're gonna have something called Pumpkin Point. They're gonna transform Nolan Park on Governor's Island into a fall wonderland with pumpkins that, for a small suggested donation, you can even take home. This is a great family activity. Even if you can't make it on any of those weekends, I can think of far worse places to check out some fall foliage and incredible skyline views. You don't have to leave New York City and go upstate to do some pumpkin picking this year, and I think that's incredible. Summit 1 Vanderbilt. This is opening October 21st, and we just did an entire video review about the experience, so if you missed it, go check it out. Spoiler alert, it is my favorite of the 5 New York City observation decks, because it's more than just an observation deck. Think of it as an interactive art exhibit that just happens to have sweeping views of Manhattan. Well, that's just one part of it. There's also the ledge that hangs 1,000 feet over Madison Avenue, if you dare step out onto it, and the largest outdoor glass elevator in the world that will shoot you up to the top of the building to hang out there for almost 2 minutes. As I said, this is more than just an observation deck. It's got so many unique aspects built in. I'm really expecting this to be one of the hottest attraction tickets in New York City for the next year. So if you haven't booked it yet, I recommend jumping on this because the best time slots are gonna be going quick. There's a lot of potential day trips to upstate New York, and I'm trying to keep these to places that you could take the train from Grand Central, and we're gonna start with Cold Spring, New York. It's about an hour and a half from Midtown, and we shot an entire video there a few years back where all we did was just walk through the town and then go hiking. So if you're adventurous and you're looking for a spot to appreciate the fall foliage and take in a really nice hike that's not too difficult, you could take the train to Cold Spring and walk directly to the trail, no car, no taxi required, and then hang out in Cold Spring after. It's actually a really nice town as well, so that's a killer 1-2 punch if you're the sporty type. Another choice would be Beacon, New York. Now, Beacon is about an hour and a half as well from Grand Central Station, and it's most famous for its museum, Dia Beacon, which is one of the largest contemporary art galleries in the country, situated right alongside the Hudson River. As someone that grew up in the Northeast, I think it's really nice to escape New York City for at least a day to see the country a little bit. The Village Halloween Parade. This is one of my favorite parades on earth, and as you can imagine, it was canceled in 2020 due to COVID. Well, there was a big story how the Village Halloween Parade wasn't sure if they were gonna happen in 2021. They needed to raise $150,000, and you could thank a financial advisor named Jason Feldman, who personally donated the money. I mean, that's someone who wants to see New York City throw one heck of a party. And that's exactly what the Village Halloween Parade is. Now, you could just go as a spectator. I've done that before. I lived in the Village for almost 10 years. But I highly recommend getting a costume and marching in the parade. Absolutely free. Anybody can do it as long as you go to the meeting point. I did an entire video 3 years back on the experience if you want to check it out. But there's nothing like marching in the parade with a group of friends and getting all that attention. You can even throw candy. And my best tip for you would be to get a group of friends together and do something really unique, because you're gonna get a ton of attention from everybody as you march. You could feel like a celebrity for the day. And my guess is this year we are gonna see tons of Squid Game costumes. Can't miss event happening October 31st. Check their website for more details. I haven't advertised this in a really long time, but I do have a Patreon page, and we have such a nice community on there, and they really help support a lot of the content that I create on Here Be Barr. We also offer lots of perks like bonus content, a live stream every month, so if you're interested in supporting the channel, check out the link down below in the description. We mentioned escaping the city to see fall foliage, but you can also see amazing fall foliage right here in New York City. And we'll start with the most famous place to do it, Central Park. And of all the super touristy attractions in New York City, I still think Central Park is my favorite any time of year, but it's truly magical during the fall. If you can time just the right week, your photos and your experience is going to be something you're never going to forget. My next suggestion is less well known to tourists, and that would be just to walk around the streets of what I and many call Brownstone, Brooklyn, and that's neighborhoods like where I live in Park Slope, Carroll Gardens, Cobble Hill, Clinton Hill, even Bed-Stuy. And there's something really special about seeing the change of season, the autumn colors next to brownstones. You could easily dedicate hours of your day to just exploring Brooklyn. None of the touristy places. Just walk the streets. You'll have a blast, and you won't really need much of a plan. The Macys Thanksgiving Parade, which is slated to be held on Thanksgiving, Thursday, November 25th. And unlike last year, you will be able to view it like normal. This is a really cool activity for families, especially for kids, because those floats are larger than life, and there's a lot of really well-known cartoons. If you're up for it, if you're a morning person, this is a parade that I think is definitely worth your time. Tell me down below in the comments, did I miss anything? Are there any other cool fall activities that people need to know about? Guys, thank you so much for your support. Thank you for watching as always. Until next time.